Everybody, and welcome back to Spying Clock TV, formerly All Red TV, and tonight's stream is sponsored by Oscar's Coffee Bar in Kilcorrie in Fife. And for those of you who are up there, pop into Oscar's. Wonderful food, wonderful coffee, fantastic hospitality, great people. I'll be up there in 7 weeks' time. I'm already on countdown. I cannot wait. So thanks to Phil and everybody at Oscars for sponsoring this tonight. And hopefully this is the start of a wonderful relationship. So if you're up in Scotland, you know where to go. And without further ado, let's get back to my brothers. Good evening, Ben.
Hello.
How you doing?
It's been a long time, hasn't it, man?
It's been too long, mate. I tell you, it's been really weird. It's been a long summer. And Alred, my brother from another mother from Norway, how you doing? Because I thought you'd fallen off the edge of the fucking earth, mate. You've been gone that long.
I have been gone that long, and it was on purpose. Because I was sick of tired of things. So I needed a break.
How you feeling now?
I'm feeling good now.
Good. The only thing what's not changed is how shit Liverpool are. So
they're not that shit.
So we're gonna get straight into this because it's been a hell of a weekend in the Premier League with some really strange results, which I didn't see coming. Spurs getting spanked, Villa getting spanked, United getting spanked, us getting out of jail again. I'll start with you, Ben. What are your thoughts on the game on Sunday at Newcastle? And are you concerned that with the lack of signings in this transfer window up to now?
Well, naturally, when you need a lot of work doing to your squad and you've been going after the same guy for 3 months now, it's obviously going to be concerning. It's borderline negligence, some would say. But enough on transfers. The game went as I expected, to be honest. Newcastle were up for the game. You could tell from minute go. Like, they just wanted it. I just think they wanted it a bit more. And for understandable reasons.
Considering how that club's been decimated over the summer, with them losing Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Anthony Gordon, and then Eddie Howe walking away. The club's been absolutely decimated, and they turn up like that. It's frightening.
Some people dare not say it, but I think Newcastle have upgraded.
What, with Matthias Jessler from Eddie Howe?
Yeah, I think he's a better coach. He offers more. And people talk about Tonali like he's some absolute wizard. The guy can't do anything except take a good set piece. And run around. He's garbage.
Alred, what are your thoughts on the game at the weekend? How were you feeling going into it, and then how were you feeling after the game?
I agree that they were gutted when it came to players leaving and the manager left as well. When it comes to upgrading on the manager side, I'm not sure. I don't know or follow other managers' career in that sense. So Ben might be right. I really don't care. I knew we were going to play a weakened Newcastle team than the one we got drawn against when the season got set up. However, I don't think Newcastle stepped up in many ways. We had issues at the midfield. We've had that since Fabinho left, so that's nothing new. Yeah. And they, in my opinion, the 2 goals they got were kind of lucky bounces, both of them. I mean, the first one is a splendid counter, and Kirk can't keep up, and fair to Elanga on that one. But the block he has in own defense, that ball could have gone anywhere. And then they got lucky. It goes absolutely to the one no one is marking, and then he can run and throw the ball. That clearance could have gone anywhere. And the same one with the second counter as well. He could have lost it. It was a couple of bad touches. Again, they are quick and on the attack, but they didn't really play well. They had the 2 counterattacks. We had everything else. We had the possession. We had the expected goals. We had shots on target, touches in opponent box. Yes, a lot of shots went into the blocking or in the stands, but we had the game. And for me, the 2-2 was a deserved point. And yes, there is a lot to work on, but compared to what we have endured the last 12 months, this is a step in the right direction.
My concern, to be honest with you guys, was basically it was like a year on and nothing's changed in the midfield. We are so easy to bypass. It's frightening. And now, obviously, Curtis Jones is gone, and thank God. That's the best thing what's happened this summer for me. Now, the thing is, if you look at that first goal, Gravenberch has gone AWOL. He's supposed to be playing as a 6. He goes AWOL. Now he should have had a shot on goal. And instead of having a crack on goal, he tries to play it square. Your fullbacks have pushed up that high. Van Dijk and Xhaka are left on their own. And Kirkes, he couldn't catch a cold, never mind catch a Langer. If he was still chasing him now, you wouldn't have caught him.
A lot of players have troubles with the Langer, so it's not Karkis alone who is the issue here. Langer is a fucking fast player.
But the thing is, the thing is, what we did at the weekend, we did the same thing last season, guys. And that what we did at the weekend got Arne Slot sacked. And we're still doing the same.
Are you really comparing this game to the 12 months under Arne Slot last season? Are you comparing those 2 games?
No, right. I've got a serious question to you now. A serious question to you too, and to everybody else on YouTube and on TikTok. So good evening to you guys on TikTok, because there's a lot following us. Now, here's my serious question. If I was at a press conference at the AXA for the weekend's game against Forest, I'd ask Iraola this question. What did FSG promise you before you signed that 2-year contract? Because they must have promised him something. Because he's been hung out to dry here in this transfer window. It's been a car crash.
He got probably promised the same thing that Slot was promised. Nothing.
Seriously? His hands are tied.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you think, Ben, but I've got some images I'm going to bring up, because this is what I think we should do now. You might not agree with me here. And if you don't, fine. I'm not saying I'm right, but going off what we're doing, I'd abandon this now, right? I wouldn't sign this fella. I'd absolutely walk away from Yakubu Minter now, right? I'd walk away from him, because the recruitment team are obsessed with wingers. We need a DM. I'd go and sign Adam Wharton now, not tomorrow, not on Thursday. Bring Adam Wharton in now, and he can play as your 6. And I'll tell you what, you'll see a difference. I'm telling you, he's the best in the Premier League at that position. There's nobody better than Adam Wharton. And if we don't bring a DM in, we're screwed. I'm telling you, we are absolutely knackered. And it'll come back to bite FSG and Richard Hughes and the rest of the club this summer. Forget Yakubu Minter. If they're not going to pay 70 million for Mbaye, why are they offering 70 million for him and he can't play for 2 months? Why are we going to casualty for signings?
Because Minter isn't going to join for a year. He's joined for 6 years. And I do still think, even though he's going to miss a bit of football, like you have to account for the fact that the international break is 3-4 weeks long. So he's only going to miss like 8-9 games. So over the course of a season,
he has to get in shape as well, then.
Yeah, but it's not like he didn't have a preseason up until the injury. Like he was still training under Herzl, who's an intense manager.
Yeah, but training is one thing, playing is another thing, and that's where match fit comes in.
I agree.
That's going to take some time. It doesn't matter if you've been in the gym or training muscles and everything. Match fit is something completely different, and that's going to take time and games.
I agree with you, Albert, completely. I see where you're coming from, Ben. But the problem is, we need players now. We don't need them in 2 months' time. We need them now. And the thing is, Liverpool fans are thinking this. If Liverpool fans think that this fella is the answer to all our problems, right? No, this is what David Ornstein said. Liverpool are still holding talks with PSG today to clarify a proposed deal for Bradley Barcola. It's going to work out about 120 million, which I said all summer. But if Liverpool fans think that this guy's the answer, then you're delusional. Barcola's not the answer. And he's not a replacement for Cody Gakpo because Gakpo's going to leave. He's already made his mind up. He doesn't want to stay. Because if you watch that game on Sunday when he scored, he didn't salute the fans, did he? He just shook the hands of Szoboszlai and somebody else, and that was it. So he's going. So I think Richard Hughes has left us in the shit here. We're in trouble, guys.
You can say Barcola doesn't fix the problems all you want, and I agree in principle. Like just signing Barcola alone isn't going to sort it. But then you mentioned Adam Morton, and I've been fighting this battle for a while. If we sign Adam Morton as our only midfielder, our midfield isn't going to change.
Well, the thing is, on Sunday, I think on Sunday, Iraiola's going to do the same thing as he did at Newcastle. He's going to play Gravenberch, Trezeguet and Szoboszlai, and he's going to have Florian Wirtz in front. He's going to try and make that system work. Now, my worry is simply this, and there's no excuses for these two now. You've got £250 million there on the pitch in two players, in Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz. You know, when you've got £100 million, when you've got £100 on your pounds after your pound sign, you're expected to deliver for Liverpool FC. Now, them two are not delivering, and I can see Florian Wirtz leaving Liverpool next year because he's not cut out for the Premier League. I'm telling you.
What's the number? What's the number between the amount of money that Haaland is worth?
What's the amount of money what he's worth?
Yeah, £2 million, £2 billion.
What who put in?
No, but if you were going to buy Haaland today, how much is he going to pay? How much is he going to cost? 2 billion?
Haaland?
Yeah, 200 million?
No.
Yeah, but
I mean,
listen. My point is, he's worth fuckload of money. He's won everything when it comes to City. But if he doesn't get the ball, he can't do shit now, can he? And that's the same with Isaac. It doesn't matter how much you're worth. It doesn't matter how much you paid. If you don't get the ball, you can't do shit about it.
There's one thing you can guarantee. Ben might agree with me here. If Alexander Isak had been playing for Newcastle, he'd have scored at the weekend. He had 2 touches on Sunday, and I've said it since we signed him. He's absolutely shite, and he's not worth 125 million. We've been shite.
He may not be worth 125 million, but he's not shite.
He is.
No.
I'm telling you, he won't score 20 goals this season.
I mean, he's not going to score 20 goals if every player on the team, not named Van Dijk or Jeremy Jacquet, is occupying the same spaces he's meant to be in.
So, do you rate Alexander Isak, Ben? Because I don't.
I rate him, of course I do. I know what I saw when he was in Newcastle.
What are you going off? Are you going off his Newcastle performances or his Swedish ones?
I'm going off everything.
Both of them?
I'm going off the data, the Sweden performances, the Newcastle performances. Like, we don't.
He's a Premier League proven striker. Even you can't. You have to, if you can't see that, Craig. I mean, you need to do something with your glasses because that strength you're wearing is not.
What did he do at the weekend? He shit himself.
That's one fucking game. He's played 6 years at Newcastle and destroyed the league.
Because he's gone back to his former club, and if you read what he put out, if you read the statements he put out beforehand, now's my time to go back to St James's Park and silence the ground. Yeah,
but he didn't get the ball. I don't give a shit about the statements. What are players going to do? What are players going to do? Well, I'm going home and I'm scared. No, of course not.
Is it that he didn't get the service?
Gravenberch.
There you go. He went AWOL again. And the problem.
What do you mean AWOL? Gravenberch was at the 16-yard line box. Instead of shooting, he threw a stupid pass. Now, if he was in shooting range, that means he's at the box, right? He didn't go AWOL. He was being a part of the attack. He did a bad choice and we got punished for it. If he were standing at the halfway line and we needed someone to come running in as midfielder, we would be bitching about that as well.
Yeah, and so he made a bad choice, and within 4 minutes we're 1-0 down. And on Saturday at 12:30, we play a team who beat us twice at Anfield last season, and the season
And
before.
how many goals have we scored on the
counter-attack
when? And how many goals have we scored on the counter-attack when we've had a set piece against us with Salah and an assist from Ali? Come on, everybody can counter-attack. Everybody is vulnerable for that shit. That's nothing new. That's not something that's just Liverpool.
The thing is, you've got to give Iraola, you've got to give him the tools to work with, and the recruitment team are not doing this. They're setting They're setting him up to fail. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but you can't blame. First of all, it's one game, and second of all, everybody is vulnerable on counters when you have a quick players up on front. That's not a Liverpool problem. That's a universal problem all over the place. Well, if you don't want to get counter
if you watch the Fulham Chelsea game last night, look at their midfield compared to ours.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the midfield. I'm talking about counter-attacks.
Yeah, it's still the same.
They conceded 2 goals as well, and you're sitting here and praising their fucking midfield. They conceded 2 goals. Where was midfield then?
Well, the thing is, we've conceded 2 goals on the counter-attack, right? We should have lost that game 3-1 because Visser had 2 great chances, which he should have put away, and he didn't. So we should have lost. We should have lost 3-1. Yes, it was a penalty, and we got away with it. Now, Alexander Isak, what he should have done, if he's got anything about him, if he's got any balls and any backbone, he should have took that ball off Szoboszlai and stuck it in the back of the net. That would have shook St James's Park up, but he's not got the bottle or the backbone. He's a striker. He was Newcastle's penalty taker. How many did he miss? None. He's not got the bottle for Liverpool. I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you. There's too many lads in that team can't handle the pressure wearing that shirt. You tell me I'm wrong.
What I'll tell you is that Torres never took penalties over Gerrard.
So that again.
Did you ever see Torres take penalties over Gerrard when they played? No. Gerrard took the penalties. Solo took the penalty because he's our best penalty taker. That's why, and he's the vice captain. That would have been a decision made before Isak ever joined the club that if Salah left, Sobo would be our chief penalty taker. That's a decision that's been made for a long, long time. So whether Isak's got the ball or not, have that debate to yourself. I don't care. But that's a decision that was made and set in stone a long time ago. And that's final.
We were kind of shouting a lot of last year as well that we wanted him to be the first penalty kicker already last year. So that is as Ben says, he's part of the captain's team. He's the captain of his national team. He takes the penalties there. He's taken the penalties for us before. He's a natural choice. That has nothing to do with the lack of balls on Isak.
The only thing is with Szoboszlai with the penalties, I mean, if you look, he places them in the same spot every time, and you're not going to stop them in the top bin. But he always places them to the left-hand side. So once the goalkeepers start doing their homework, he's going to have to change. He's going to have to switch it a wee bit, I think.
Maybe, but the goalie had done his homework. He still couldn't catch it.
Exactly.
Kepa stood in the corner where Van Dijk put it in the top corner. He still couldn't take it. Of course, he has to start mixing it up a little bit, because if he's going to take a lot of penalties, he has to do that. Every penalty kick taker has to do that. But as far as it's been 6 penalties for Liverpool, I think, and 1 has been in the crossbar and 5 in goal.
So I mean, because I think when we brought Iraola in as manager, I think we made the right choice. I think Liverpool will play a similar style of football to what Spain played in the World Cup. Once Iraola gets who he wants. Now he's told Richard Hughes and the powers that be who he wants to bring in. Now apparently, from what I've been researching, I've been working hard in the summer. Now apparently Liverpool are only going to bring 2 wingers in. They might bring a midfielder in, but don't hold your breath. I'll tell you that for now. They're going to bring 2 wingers in for sure. Now, I still think we need a DM. we need a centre-back, a right-back and a striker. That's what we need, but we're not going to get them. We'll be lucky if we sign 3 players in this next 7 days. So
we don't need a centre-back.
I think we do.
No, we need a right back.
This time next week, the transfer window's shut. So we'll know exactly where we stand and how our season is going to pan out. Now,
I agree with Ben. We don't need a new centre-back because we got the player on loan from Barcelona, and he covered that one.
Right, so what are your thoughts on Areo then from Barcelona?
I mean,
outstanding deal.
It's a great deal.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I liked it because I've watched them a lot for Barcelona. He's a comical player, and he makes too many big errors. And that's just talking about the football side. And you can't ignore the off-pitch issues. I mean, he literally took a break from football to take a trip to another country, a spiritual trip, because he needed a reset. He's a mentality midget. This is meant to be a club that prides itself on its rock solid mentality.
I think it's very, very. If what I have read is correct, if not, then I'm wrong. But I think it's very cruel to call someone a mentality midget if you're having physical issues, if you are struggling with depression or anything like that, and then using that against them and calling them kind of mentality midget. That is a serious issue that kills a lot of men over the years. And if you have that issue, if you need to take time out, I don't give a shit. I would rather have him playing. He makes errors. Yes, he's been in a league where he don't have to show up at work every day. It's good for him to come to something new, to start afresh. And I think that's a good thing both for him and for us. And I would have him play any day over either Konate or Gomez, who doesn't play anyway because he's injured. So it's a no-brainer in my opinion.
What are your feelings on Jeremy Jacquet?
He's going to be one of the best.
Sorry, I was kind of muted. I think. Did you hear anything I said?
Yes,
yeah, heard everything.
Okay, then
I think Jeremy Jacquet is going to be one of the best centre backs in the world for a long, long time.
The thing I noticed when we played the last pre-season game at home against Como. Yeah, what I noticed straight away was with Jacquet was Frimpong was playing at right back, and the moment he got the ball, he was playing it in front of Frimpong instead of playing it sideways like Konate did to him. So Frimpong was running onto it straight away. Now, I think Van Dijk and Jacquet, they'll probably be the best centre-half pairing since Lawrenson and Hansen for me. The way once they click, they'll be great. But my concern is, genuinely as a football fan, because I've looked at all the transfer business, and when you look at what Arsenal have done, they won the league last year, and look how they strengthened now. It's going to take some team to stop them this season. They're going to have to fall off a cliff.
Arsenal's going to win because no one's going to challenge them. But I think Jacquet and Leone, if Leone evolves like we kind of saw a glimpse of before he was injured, if these two guys can play together for 5, 6, 7, 8 years together in Liverpool, they're going to dominate everything when it comes to center defenders.
I think it's not even like say Leone can't overcome the mental side of an ACL injury, which would be understandable because obviously it is a big injury. You've got players like Ndukwi, who in pre-season he was colossus.
Of course he was.
I was watching every pre-season game. I watched the whole 90s, and he was him and Trey Leone were our two best performers.
Yeah, for 18 years old, the talent he's got is absolutely ridiculous. But the scary thing is, because I messaged you during the summer, Ben. The scary thing is, next year Liverpool have got 11 players out of contract in the first team squad. Now the thing is, if you look at the game at the weekend, Harvey Elliott and Federico Chiesa were left out of the squad entirely, so they'll be gone in the next 7 days. They won't be at Liverpool the rest of this season. They want them off the wage bill for me now, because if you're only playing 35 minutes against Como behind closed doors, and then you're not in the squad for the game at Anfield on Sunday night, and then you're left out completely for the first game at the weekend, then you're not part of Iriola's plans for Hervé Elliott and Federico Chiesa. So, we've got a thinner squad than what we had last year. It's ridiculous. This club's being decimated.
What you say about the 11 players being out of contract, like if you listed them off, I reckon I could only name 2 or 3 that actually are relevant to this football club. Like you're talking about players like Costa, Simicas, Wataru Endo, Harvey Elliott, Chiesa, and Stefan Bajcetic, and like these are players that weren't going to play anyway. So it's inconsequential that they're out of contract next year, and they're worthless on the transfer market. So it's not like, oh, we're not going to get a transfer fee. Chiesa isn't worth nothing. Harvey Elliott might get you 15 million if you're lucky, and that's about it.
Well, he might end up at Leeds or West Ham because they're looking at him seriously. But
be a good move for him.
But we have got some serious work to do before we've got 7 days left now, and we're in action again in 4 days' time with take on Nottingham Forest at home, 12:30. Now, I fancy us to win that because we're at home and hopefully there might be an atmosphere for a change. But with it being the first home game, I expect us to win at the weekend. But with what I've seen this weekend, they're all difficult to call. Spurs have spent 400 million. United are still spending. City have not finished. Neither have Arsenal. Chelsea have made 13 signings. Yet Liverpool have made 2.
Yeah, but then there's the whole point. There's still 7 days. What? There's the rest of this weekend, and there's until 10 p.m. Monday night. Like, I still think we're going to make 2 to 3 signings. I mean,
I don't think we'll bring any more than 3 in, to be honest with you. I'd be amazed if we did. I'd be ecstatic if we did. Brought more than 3 in, because I think we need more than 3, and Iraola does.
I think we're going to get 1.
But Barcola, he's the only one what's nailed on at the minute.
Yeah, but he's been done for 6 months now, so I'm tired of it already. But for me, when we then go for Minette or whatever his name was, the injured player, when we go for him, when we've been talking about Raiola for 3 months, to me that shows a lack of planning. It shows a lack of structure, lack of anything, because it looks like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And this has been the story since Hughes and Richards have been doing it since he came back. So I have no faith in them whatsoever. So
luckily for us, Hughes has barely been involved in the business. It's mainly been people like the higher ups, like Mike Gordon and co. Because obviously
that's not working either, is it?
Here's my question to you guys. There's 2 players which I find it quite strange that one, he wasn't offered to Liverpool. He was only offered to Man United and Chelsea. And if I was in Richard Hughes' shoes, I'd have gone and signed him for Liverpool without a doubt. Miles Lewis-Skelly from Arsenal, I'd have brought him into Liverpool, right? Because of where he can play, he's versatile, and the speed he's got. And here's another one. Why are Liverpool not making a punt for Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid?
Because
instead of Barcelona, he's not going to Barcelona. That's a no-go. It's not going to happen. But Etitike is not back till November. And if Isak gets injured, who are you going to play up front?
That's why I don't think Gakpo goes.
Gakpo's going to Spurs.
No.
It's not guaranteed.
No.
Well, he wants to go. If he goes to City, I'll be amazed. But
I think that's why he reacted. I think that's why he reacted like he did in the game, because I don't think he wants to go.
No, he reacted like that because we only equalised and he wanted to get the winner. That's why he's done that every time he's equalised.
He was the best player for us on Sunday.
No, he wasn't.
His first half, he was one of the best, in my opinion.
No, in both halves, I generally didn't rate anything he did. Okay, fair enough, he got that nice goal, but before and after, useless. It was for me. It was Jeremy Jacket.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Ben,
but he's kind of voted the player of the game, so I'm not sure how much. I mean, you can rate him as all you want, but I think he was one of the best players we had in the first half. The little we created came from him, especially when he drifted into the center.
But
he is by far the player with the highest rating in that game on both teams. So
talking about taking them creams. We're talking about taking them creams.
It's too predictable, though, for me.
Well, that for me, that's what he did in the first half. He was kind of, he was not, he was part of the build-up in the middle of the field, and that kind of surprised a lot of things. When he came drifting in like he usually does, that kind of doesn't work. But I think he did a good job, and I think it's good for him and it's good for us. And he's the only backup we have if Isaac gets injured.
And the thing is as well, talking about predictability, there's another player, and I've watched him all pre-season. Now he's a great player, and the talent he's got for his age is frightening, but he's too predictable, and that's Rio Ungamoa. He's got to cut these step overs out of his game. He's doing 6 or 7 every time he gets the ball. Opponents know what he's going to do as soon as he picks the ball up. Just do the simple things. Pick it up, lay it off, and go for it. Play a 1-2. Simple.
Yeah, but him playing in that position is pissing me off because he isn't the right winger, and that we don't have a left-footed right winger at all, except maybe Elliot.
But he's gone to the manager and said he's quite happy to play on both flanks. So if he's happy to do that, you can't say it's pissing you off. He wants to do it.
Yeah, but Salah could also play central defender together with Van Dijk. He could play it if that gave him a chance to play, but he wouldn't be good at it. I don't care if he's happy about it. I want him to play where he's good or the best, not where we don't have anyone else.
So
that's the same thing with Szoboszlai playing right back. Well, he can play it, but he sucks at it.
Oh yeah. So Ben, who would you start on the right wing on Saturday?
Munoz.
Yeah, he has to. It's a no-brainer.
Isn't he right-footed as well?
He's more suited to the right wing than Rio.
Well, I'm more right wing than Rio, but yeah.
And God forbid I ever touch Gap on the right wing.
You know the biggest problem they've got. Over this. Whoever comes in and plays on that right wing, you know what's going to happen, don't you?
What?
And I can tell you now for free.
Going to be hard to Salah.
Whoever comes in, they're going to compare him to Mo Salah. He'll play. He'll say he's not as good as Salah were. I wish we had Salah back. Simple. There's only one more Salah, and there'll never be another. So there's no point in comparing whoever comes in. You compare him on his own ability.
No. Okay, but if Munoz is going to play on the right wing, who's going to play left wing?
Gakpo or Rio.
It'll be well. I think Gakpo's going to leave, so I think it'll be Rio or Barcola.
No, Barcola won't be done in time.
No.
Not for the weekend game.
Let's just talk about the players we have.
Well, would this not be better to talk about in a game preview on Friday or something?
Yeah, but my point is, what worries me, and I talked a little bit about this to Ben while you were kind of fixing everything up, Craig, and that's the issue with Wirtz, because I can't see how we're going to make him work.
You know, I can explain. I could sit here for the next hour and explain how we can at least try to help Wirtz. Because let's not lie to ourselves. Obviously, he needs to improve. He needs to be more physically. He needs to be more of a man. He needs to impose himself. You're a 100 million pound player. Hang on, let me finish.
No, just give me a few sentences. What does he need to be what he can be?
What he needs is his pivot to not be occupying the same areas he's meant to be in. Because I don't know if Craig I know you said you didn't see it, but I don't know if Craig's seen it. But there's a literal graph and there's video evidence of Szoboszlai and Gravenberch in attacking areas when they're meant to be our defensive midfielders.
Yeah.
Especially Gravenberch. Like Gravenberch should be near Van Dijk and Jackie. Why is he in the same zones as Wirtz? And you wonder why you can't get a grip on things. Because because his zones of the pitch are so flooded with players who shouldn't be there. Which is why it begs the question why we're so hesitant and reluctant to sign a midfielder.
The best example I can give you of that, Ben, going back a little bit, now I might remember this, but the best two fullbacks we've ever had, and I'm not talking Trent and Robbo here, better than Trent and Robbo, Alan Kennedy and Phil Neal, right? When Alan Kennedy and Phil Neal played for Liverpool, and they were the same, Phil Neal was the best attacking right back I've ever seen. And when Phil Neal did what Kirkes does or Frimpong does, Sammy Lee used to drop back and cover. So that if we did lose the ball and Phil Neal was out of position, your two centre-halves weren't struggling, they weren't left stranded on their own. And when Alan Kennedy went forward, Terry McDermott used to drop back and cover and do the same thing. But if you watch it now, your midfielders, when Frimpong and Kirkes are bombing forward, your centre midfielders are not dropping back and covering with your centre backs. That's your problem.
And me and Aaron discussed this before whilst you were fixing your technical difficulties. This isn't a coaching thing. Because if it was a coaching thing, Iraola would have sent both of them to the gulag by now.
Yeah,
for that performance.
We kind of blame the coach for the last 12 months. So why can't Iraola make a tactical issue in one game?
Because
I agree. I agree with what Iraola said. Why didn't somebody take a yellow card for that second goal? There's 6 players around Visser. You can ride one challenge. That's fair enough. That's acceptable. But for ride 4 or 5 and nobody take a yellow card, that's unacceptable.
I'm going to interrupt that. The only player who even tried to tackle him in that entire sequence was Wirtz, and that was in our half. No one else actually put a proper foot in that entire run he made. And that's why I disagree when Arnold said earlier that the second goal was just bad luck. No, the second goal was absolutely shocking defending from like 9 players.
But the thing is, with like you just, I like Florian Wirtz. Now I don't know if you saw what Jamie Carragher said last night on Monday Night Football. I think he went over the top a little bit for me.
I don't listen to anything Jamie Carragher says.
When you're dragging your 116 million player off with half an hour to go, you've got a problem at that football club.
The player that should have went off was Szoboszlai or Gravenberch. And I was saying this, I was watching the game with some friends, like how both of them, like obviously thank God Sobo stayed on and he scored the pen, but and then even then you think Isaac would have took it and scored it, you'd assume so. He's a good penalty taker. But why was Gravenberch still on? Why did Gravenberch last so long on the pitch?
Because we don't have one. We don't have anyone to go in. We don't have a bench.
Harold, Trey Naoni is right there. How many times since Curtis Jones has been sold have the media come out and said, "Oh, Trey Naoni is going to play a much improved role in our squad"?
He's taking Curtis Jones's place.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that one, but away in that heated stadium, when we are struggling, that may not be the greatest place to start or to come into a game. It might be better if he starts or comes in against Forest at home instead of at St. James's Park.
Not really, because what Naoni would have brought to the midfield is exactly what we needed. Someone who could keep the ball.
If he could handle the pressure, yeah. I agree with you. I would like to see him play, but maybe that wasn't the game to throw an 18-year-old player in.
Look, there's a saying, if you're old enough, you're good enough. Like you're on a Liverpool Football Club
If you're
bench,
good enough, you're old enough. Yeah, I know that one. But
like
then it's also
you're on the Liverpool Football Club bench. Like I'm sorry, but that kind of thing goes kind of out the window when you make
how
it to
many
the bench.
players have we on the bench last year that wasn't good enough?
Too many. That's the problem.
Exactly. So being on the
had-
bench doesn't give you the quality to play for Liverpool.
Yeah,
in
that's
itself.
different now because Naomi was on the bench the entire time last year. The only difference
I
was we have a
agree.
coach now.
I agree. But maybe you
difference
shouldn't
now-
throw him in that kind of game because it was heated and a lot of hostility. Maybe that was the decision to save him from that one.
Well, if you can't trust him in those environments when we need that specific style the most, then you're basically just giving him a massive smack in the face. After a wholesome return, he's going to have a massive role in the squad.
If you take care of a 18-year-old.
Bear in mind, he brought Lewis Kumas on for his Premier League debut.
Yeah,
in the same ground.
in a different position, not a vulnerable position in the midfield where we were having issues. That's two different things.
Oh, and he played Jeremy Jacquet for his first start in a competitive game since February at St James's Park. So this whole
when you start with Jacquet, who's played first division football in France, has experience from top flight divisions. Of course, that's just the same as 20 minutes in the pre-game for Liverpool, like Nione has, right?
Well, I think if you're good enough, you're ready. And Nione
is but the point is you're comparing him to Jacquet, who has played a year in French top football.
You're never going to know.
And first of all, we have young players already and the team. You can't put just kids in there as well. I want to see Nione play. I want to see him start at the weekend. But there is a difference between putting a young kid in an offensive position or being the defensive building material in a team that's struggling on a hostile away ground.
So can I just point you to one example where I think you're wrong in that case? The 2024 Carabao Cup final, when you're in extra time, Jurgen Klopp brings on Jayden Danns, James McConnell, all these young players who, by the way, they were making their first ever appearance in a major final, and they came on and they embraced the pressure. Like if you play for Liverpool, you've got to be able to embrace any scenario, even St James's Park. Yeah, I agree. It was a hostile atmosphere, so maybe he might have got eaten up by the pressure. But you need to experience that to get better, and you're not going to experience that if you're left on the bench.
And first of all, you cannot compare any youth players who got the chance during Jurgen Klopp to any youth players after that. First of all,
it's the same group of players.
Klopp used the whole League Cup to just play the youngsters. He gave them a confidence and ability to believe in themselves. And
Lewis Kumas's first game as
but
a professional.
It's another position. It's an offensive one. If he makes a mistake, it's not a critical mistake.
Well, but if he misses a big chance and Van Dijk doesn't score the header and we go to pens and lose, then people are going to look back at that chance and be like, oh, Lewis Kumas cost us this final, which is just as big as if Naomi got caught on the ball on the halfway line.
All right.
So my question to you both then is, we train Ione. Now, obviously, he's going to play a major part this season. It's already been documented. Hopefully. It's already coming out because obviously we know he's gone, and thank God. And I'll tell you something: 35 million. The Italians at Inter Milan will soon find out how shit Curtis Jones is in a bit. You watch.
He's going. He's going to do okay down there.
Maybe he might do what McTominay's done.
Yeah, but that's exactly. Look at all the shit players that left United and done well down there.
So my question to you both is simply this: obviously, we're going to. I don't know how many games we're going to play this season. 60 or whatever. Depends how well we do in the comps. But my question to you is: he's going to have to rotate, isn't he? So who would you sign as a midfielder? If Ben said we're going to bring 3 in the next 7 days, so if you're bringing 2 wingers in, what midfielder are you signing for that squad?
Like, if I could have whoever I wanted, or realistic?
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying to you is, for the last 5 seasons, Liverpool have been crying out for a world-class number 6, and we're still waiting.
I agree.
So who
but
would you sign?
Well, I'm gonna be a bit of a pain here. I'm gonna have to context, like, do I have the freedom to just say whoever the hell I want, or do you want me to be realistic because of this?
It's your opinion, Ben, so it doesn't matter either way.
Okay. Noah Siddiqui from Sunderland. That's who I want.
Right, okay. Okay, I can accept that. Who would you bring in, Alred?
I have no clue. I to be honest, I don't give a shit about transfers. I'm so no, but seriously, I fucking hate the word transfers because it's everybody is in the know and everybody is going to be the first. Well, here we go and this and that and everything, and it's goes 3 months and everything. First of all, I don't think we're going to sign a midfielder. I don't think we're going to sign. I think maybe Barcola. I have no faith in the transfers of this club at all. So the player that Ben mentioned there may be the best in the world for all I know, because I don't follow. I don't follow transfers that way or other players. So Ben might be right.
I want your thoughts on this, guys. I want your honest opinions on this now, because this is what I honestly believe. Right now, you might think I'm back, I'm smoking something funny or whatever, but with the 4 guys now, the 4 richest guys on the planet with 480 billion all combined, they've just pumped in £2 billion into Liverpool on the desk of FSG and gone bang. They bought 40% of the club. Now, this is my opinion. This is my honest opinion. There's no way them 4 guys are going to pump $2 billion into Liverpool, £2 billion into Liverpool, and sit back and do fucking nothing. Now, I think in the next 18 months, FSG won't be at Liverpool. They'll be gone, and these 4 guys are coming in with one ambition only. Liverpool Football Club will be the biggest club in world football. They will overtake Real Madrid. That's their goal. Trust me on that. And when the transfer window opens, they won't go to Iraola or who the manager is and say, how much do you want? It'll be, who do you want? Because if anybody should be bricking themselves now, it should be them down the M62 and East Lancs here, Man United. Because look what's that? I'm telling you, it's frightening, mate. You don't pump that money in and sit back and do nothing. Am I right or am I wrong?
I agree. I do agree, because when you're as rich as people like the guys who are pumping the money in, the only way when you're spending 2 to 7 billion, which is what it'll cost to inevitably acquire the majority stake in the club, like, the only way you're making a profit is if you're constantly winning major trophies. Like, they need Liverpool to be the best team in the world year in, year out, because otherwise they're just not going to make any money. And the thing is, Ben, some Liverpool fans have come out and said Jeff Bezos doesn't know anything about football. Who televises the Champions League? Amazon Prime. He's already got his fingers in the pie, right? Now, don't be surprised if you see Amazon sponsoring Liverpool. Yeah, but it's kind of different though, because that's broadcasting.
Yeah,
owning a football club and having a say, like, it's already been very well documented that Jeff Bezos won't have a big influential role. He's being represented by some like sports agency place, K62 Sports or something, media it's called. Like, he's being represented by them. Like,
the thing is, I don't think he's just going to sit there and do nothing. I just don't think he is.
Craig, it's not as simple as just saying, well, we've got Jeff Bezos on our side now. We can just spend whatever.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But the thing is, all I've heard since this happened. But the crazy thing is, people think this has just happened overnight. It's not. These talks have been going on since 2025. Now, what people need to realise is, John Henry. Let's be realistic here. John Henry's 74 now, right? John W. Henry's 74 years old. So it's time for winding down's coming now. So all you've got is one billionaire selling it to another. That's what you've got. Now the thing is, so these talks have been going on since 2025, right?
So
now,
so what you're saying there that so this deal has been in the making just as long as the Barcola one.
Yeah.
No, because I mean,
But the point is, I don't know if you read it, Greg, but Ben's iPad is going out of power, so we have to end it soon. But I want to shoot in quite quickly here at the end. And I don't think this, I mean, first of all, the money they put into the club, they're not going to us. It's going to FSG.
It's going to FSG.
Yeah. So it's not going to be like we suddenly have $1 billion to spend. Listen. First of all, I don't think if you go in and buy a club like this in the next 18 months, that doesn't necessarily mean they are going to invest a shitload of money to make us win. It's all about branding and advertising. Look at the Glazers and look at everything like that. It's getting your money's worth one way or the other. Either you put the money for buying the club onto the club like the Glazers did, or it's calling Anfield Amazon Arena, or it's branding in United States tours and all that shit and expanding everything. So the World Cup is every 5 minutes with 200 players. It's all about money. It's going to get more money centered when these rich bitches come in. So I'm not seeing anything positive about this at all.
But what makes me laugh is this, right? Liverpool fans are mourning because these guys are buying 40%, or they're going to buy the whole club eventually, right? But Liverpool fans are mourning now. But what if it was Man United they were buying? They wouldn't be happy about it then, because
yes, we would be, because it's Americans. Americans are a piece of when it comes to buying sports clubs. They can't handle it. It's just about money. If this has been some sheik buying like they did City, that would be something else, because they have shown that they like to spend money and do everything they can to be the best. Americans don't do that. It's just about the money. Money.
Well, I know, Alred. I know you're saying that, but just rewind 16 years then. Just cast your mind back 16 years to the High Court in London. Liverpool were 24 hours from going out of business completely.
Yeah, and who drove it into the ground? Americans. Who is playing Football Manager in Chelsea? Americans. Who is fucking up United? Americans. So the most Americans fuck it up. FSG has not. So most Americans is fucking it up, and I don't know how Bezos and those guys are going to be any different.
No, you're missing my point. If it hadn't have been for FSG coming in and buying the club for 300 million, Liverpool wouldn't have existed now.
I said that. I said everyone else has fucked up except FSG.
Right.
Gillette and Hicks were American. They fucked it up.
So
Glazers bought United. They fucked it up.
Yeah, but
Americans bought Chelsea. They fucked it up.
So, I mean, I don't know whether you're anti-FSG or not, and I don't know what side Ben is.
I'm not.
But the thing is, if you look at it, John Henry bought the club for 300 million. It's now worth 5 million.
I know all this. But Americans, when they buy sports team, usually, except FSG, usually fuck it up.
Fuck it up. So, all right. So, do you think these 4 guys are going to fuck it up?
I'm not trusting him.
Can I just butt in here real quick before we end?
Yeah.
The guy leading the consortium is British. He's a British Indian.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. The owners, his boss is American.
No, his boss is the person funding him is an Indian steel tycoon.
He's an Indian British, and his father-in-law's Indian. He's a steel magnate.
Steel tycoon.
Because Bezos wants to spend £4 billion and not have anything to say. Yeah.
All
right, that's okay.
Okay, guys. I think we'll wrap it up there. I tell you what, it's so good to be back. Honestly, what a wonderful way to come back. Ben, it's been great to see you, mate. Like the away shirt as well. Brilliant shirt. Spain, love it. World champions. Alred, do not listen. You've been away too long. This is the first of many, I hope. And you're still an admin on this, so don't forget. So from myself, Aldo, from my good brother from another mother, Alred, and from Ben, from the guys at Spying Clock TV, we will see you on the next one. So could be Friday night, pre-match stream. We will let you know in advance. So hit that like, hit the notification bell, and from me and the guys, catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Wonderful. Wonderful.